Okay.
You sure with that? You're fine with that?
I think we're good. Could you see me in frame?
I can see you. Yeah, you're on the edge, but you're not too far to the edge.
No.
But you're good.
I'm like equal.
We're both on. Yeah, we're both on the edges.
All right.
Vincent.
Could I be your Van Gogh?
Maybe show that. Show it off. That's your EP.
Right now?
Yeah. This is
There's a lot
Ari's
of glare on it.
EP.
Okay.
Okay. So it's not out now, but when people watch this, it's going to be out.
Yes.
How do you feel?
How do I feel about
Your
what?
EP is out.
My EP is out. Oh my
How
God.
do you feel about that?
I feel very good. It's been 3.5 years, almost 4 years of making this thing. You're smiling because it sucked. But yeah, I'm very excited that it's finally out. Like most exciting, I think, is that like we worked so hard on this, and I'm just excited to just get it off my chest, our chests, our plural chests.
Oh God.
Because like, I don't know. I feel like it's ready to get the heck out of here. Like it's ready to, like I'm happy it's finally out in the world after 3.5 years of making it.
Nice.
You know, with no budget, with no funding, we made it.
We made it.
We made it.
When would you say this idea came to you to make this EP? Like
This
how long
idea,
ago?
probably 3.5 years ago. I had songs I wanted to work on. We were working on Van Gogh at the time.
Right.
And then I think you sat down with me and you were like, I think it was your idea. Like
To make an EP?
I think I wanted to make an EP, but you were like set it up, like decide what you want it to be. And then I thought, I'm pretty sure that's how it started, but I don't have great memory.
Cool.
What do you remember happening?
I don't remember that.
No, because it's been so long. I don't remember. Like I think we started Van Gogh before I knew that there was going to be an EP. I remember I showed you, I think I showed you 2 songs and you were like,
I think you showed me Drugs. Was it Drugs?
I showed you Drugs or Van Gogh, and then we chose Van Gogh.
I think so.
Okay. Well, point is, yeah. So we've been working on this since 2020, by the way.
Right.
2020,
When
2020, September of 2020. What's the date right now?
When
It's
COVID
post-release. So
happened.
right now it's June of 2024.
Right. When we started, how long did you think it would take?
When we started, I thought it would take like maybe 6 months, and it's almost 4 years right now. But I think no, that's just that's a part of like the process takes time. When you work without money and you're working with your friends, like things take time, and that's okay. And you
Right.
pay with your time instead of your money. But I'm very happy with the results. Like I don't think we like just let things go before they were ready, which like is very important. That we really sat on each song and like made sure it was really good to the point where it took us 4 years to do it.
Right. Well, also because we didn't have a lot of time. That's why it took us 4 years.
Also because we didn't have a lot of time. Yeah, we were working on like a
Right.
tight schedule.
So what if you could? What was the hardest part? What was the hardest part?
What was the hardest
Was
part?
that it?
I think the hardest part was just how long it took, and like watching myself age as the process went on, and be like, just every year I'm like, oh, it'll be like in a month, you know, and then watching myself age and things moving forward, and like I'm getting older, but it's not out yet. That was the hardest part, I think. Like even now, you know, like when I was 17.
You just don't want to age.
Well, I don't want to age, but when I was 17, I was convinced of the idea that I would make it like at 17. I was like, oh, I'm going to be Billie Eilish. Like I'm going to be like a star the way I see everyone else is a star.
Right.
So every year that passed in 17, I was like, maybe next year we're almost there, you know? And then it's like, it's not how life works, you know? Like you got to get it yourself. And also I'm not working on anyone else's timeline, you know? I don't have all the resources or even if I did, like everyone has their own path of succeeding.
Right.
And who knows if I will.
That's a good mindset, though.
Yeah.
Nice. I remember you telling me. I remember you complaining to me about how long it's taking.
How many times do you remember that?
Like millions of times.
Yeah.
But you're saying that in retrospect, you learned something from it.
I think I definitely learned something from it. I also, it made my expectations really low, which is a good thing. Like now my expectations are super low about time and how long things will take. So now like we had a song, me and Redacted Bleep Bleep worked on a song in December, and it was done in a month and a week, like the entire song, like ready for mixing. So that was super.
Was quick. Bleep.
Even redacted was also quick. Yeah. Even are you gonna bleep? That'd be sick.
I guess I'll bleep it.
Even was pretty fast, but in terms of like if you look at each session, but that was cool. That's cool. It's cool that we did it that fast. Every song is different, and also like the more time passed, the more you were good at what you did, and the more I was like aware of what I wanted. Like
that's true.
It makes things like we're faster the more we work, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Van Gogh took a long time.
I don't think Van Gogh was the longest, but it did take a long time.
It wasn't the longest.
I feel like even if you don't,
Van Gogh took like 2 years.
Van Gogh took like 2 years, but even if you don't, took like 2 years also. I think Van Gogh was probably a year and a half, and even if you don't, was more than a year and a half. And if you include the mastering time, the mixing and mastering time, which was 5 months, by the way.
5 months.
5 months from the beginning of mix to the end of master.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
We won't mention.
We will mention that.
Won't mention names.
No names.
Why Vincent?
Why
the
Vincent?
name Vincent?
Oh God. Why Vincent? I think the whole EP centers around like Van Gogh, specifically that song. Like that was the first song from it, the first single.
Right.
And it's kind of like, I don't want to go too far into the world building of it because there's a lot behind the scenes of like exactly why, like who Vincent is and how I connect with him. And there's like, if you look closely, you'll notice like specific details or like, there's like Easter eggs kind of where you can understand the world around it. But just like a basic rundown is, I was thinking about Van Gogh in particular. I was in the shower in like 2020 and I was like, oh my God, Van Gogh died from a gunshot. And no one knew like how he died for a while. It was like, it was a big mystery. Apparently they found out who it was, by the way, but I didn't look it up. I didn't want to know. Yeah. It was either him or someone else. Basically the idea was the gun was close enough to his body that it could have been.
Did you say his brother?
His brother. I didn't hear that.
Oh, okay.
It could have been him that like he could have shot himself, or it could be that someone shot him. And I was just thinking about that idea, and it was just like, I don't know. I was connecting to it and I was thinking about it. And you know, like an artist who's super, super talented, who is only appreciated after he's dead. Right. You know, there's a lot of artists like that like once they die, there's a big boom. That's why I want to fake my own death, because I feel like there'll be a big boost in streams if I do that. Just like go to Mongolia for 3 months. And
what happens when you show back up that you're alive?
Well, it doesn't matter because the streams are back. And then it's also controversial because it's like, ooh, he's not actually dead. And then there's a whole controversy around it. But yeah, with Van Gogh, like there's a lot of like, he was so talented and he was such an incredible artist, but he didn't really get the fame in his lifetime. It was only after he died. And then also his death was so mysterious and weird. And I was just thinking about that. And it's kind of like, as an artist myself, who like, I'm not big yet, you know, I think I will be, but like the idea is feeling connected to that. Like I can be making such beautiful things that no one will notice. And also like thinking about like dying in a mysterious way. I don't know why I connected to that, but it was just like interesting. Also, it was COVID. It was dark times. It was 2020.
So this is your art, your unknown art that hopefully will become famous.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm kind of like asking people like, could I be your Van Gogh? Which is like, except for the dying part. Like, can you just like make me famous basically? Right. But like, there's a lot more meaning to it than that. But that's just like the first way I think I connected with it when I was writing it. But that kind of centered the entire EP because it's like, it's the beginning. I feel like it's the birth of the story, is like coming at it from the perspective of an artist. Like, I'm an artist. Look at me. Like, look at what a struggling artist looks like. And then we have the EP kind of stems from that. And it goes through like a timeline of my life. And also in some way goes through a timeline of like his life, which I imagined. So I really connected with like Vincent as an artist, Vincent Van Gogh. If you didn't know, his name is Vincent Van Gogh, which is why it's Vincent. Right. And I also thought it was cool that it's called Vincent, and then like the first the highlight track, although it's not the first anymore. It's the first is the intro now, but the first single is Van Gogh, so it's like Vincent Van Gogh. Right. And
Nice.
Yeah,
Well,
does
also
that-
the intro is called Vincent.
also the intro is called Vincent.
yeah,
So it's,
that.
you see just Vincent Van Gogh. So it's just like a great, I feel like it's a very good opening. It's a very like, also for me as like a debut project, like to have that be the opener, like a song that people really love that I really connect to. Like I think it's one of my best songs ever, if not the best one I've ever written.
Nice.
Yeah. Even though it's hard to listen to because we like spent so much time making it, but like
Do you
randomly.
like playing it?
What?
Do you like performing it?
I still love performing it. Yeah, I love performing it, especially because people sing along. Like
Nice.
when people sing along, it's like it's so nice. Like it's the
Right.
best, one of the best feelings ever. Like top 2 feelings.
Top 2? What's top 1?
Well, it's between that and also when people like message me and are like, your music either changed my life or like I was going through a hard time and your music helped me, or like
Nice.
when people say, my favorite one is when people go, you said something that I always felt but didn't know how to say. I'm like, oof, like that's the coolest thing I could hear, you know?
Nice.
So those are top 2 feelings. But yeah, Van Gogh, I love playing it live. It can get like annoying sometimes because it's like people really like request it a lot, like on lives, but it's fine. Like it's, you know, like I'm not always connected to it.
They wanna
but
hear
once but funny thing about that song is once I start playing it, I always like, I can get in. I get lost in it. So that's a good thing. Like there's
That's
songs
cool.
where I'm like, it's hard for me to connect with as much.
Nice.
Like, I'm not gonna say.
Why? Like give love.
Like give love. Like give love the enemy.
But how come, I was going to ask, how come Cool Kids and Give Love are not on the E EP?
How come Cool Kids and Give Love are not on the EP? I think sonically they don't like feel the same. And also I feel like those are like kind of like appetizers, like starters into when things got like much better. Like you can see like the production difference between like Give Love is like, I'd say lower quality. Like I'd say it's at like 65, 70% of what it could be. Like if it was like, if I had a lot of money and it was done like insanely, but it was just me and my friend in a room, like me and Missy, just like, we just had fun and made it. And then from Give Love, you go to Cool Kids, which I think is at like 82%. And it's like, it's good, but it's like, it needs more. And although people really like that song, and then like, once we get to the next stage, like Van Gogh and the whole Vincent EP, I think it's like, we're up to 90, I think. Nice. I think that the last 10% is the hardest thing. Like you need a lot of money for the last 10%. But
What do you think the last 10% is?
I don't know. I just feel like the last 10% is when you press play on a different song on Spotify versus pressing play on that one. Whatever the difference that you notice is, that's the difference. That's the 10%. Like I noticed the difference between like all the songs that we've done and the songs on Spotify, like big songs of people I love. It could just be like how we mixed or mastered it. Or it could be how we produced it. Or it could be like the fact that we have like less high quality equipment and we're doing it in bedrooms, but I don't know.
Right.
Some people do stuff in bedrooms and it's,
Right.
I don't know. It's hard to say what the last 10% is. I just know that there's more. Like I don't think we've hit the max of like, this is it. Like we've completed how good we'll be.
Cool.
But it's good. Like 90 is really good.
Right.
I'm happy with it.
There's always more to grow.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm very happy with it though.
Right.
I got no complaints.
Nice.
Well, I have complaints, but not about other things.
Want to voice your complaints?
I can't voice my complaints without naming particular names, which we're going to keep silent.
Okay. Fair enough. Is there a theme or like a main message you want people to take away from the EP?
A theme or a message? I feel like each song stands on its own as a message. Like they're kind of like, the whole thing is every song is a little bit of a different genre. Like they're not all the same. And just like you'll see with most EPs or most like albums, they really try to stick to one sound or maybe 2 sounds. And on this EP, it's more like, it's kind of like, let me show people what I can do in a bunch of different spaces. You know, like dip into, like on Van Gogh, we have like a cinematic ballad, and then we have like R.I.P, which is like a dark Baroque alternative pop rock song. Like they're all kind of, each song has its own thing. And like Drugs is like synth pop, and then like Die for Family is like a genreless hyper synth pop, which is like, you know, like they all have their thing. And then even if you don't even know what that is, it's like a genreless ballad / alternative rock / pop / I don't know. Like it's just like, it's kind of just like, basically each song is very different. So I guess each song has its own message.
Was that a goal? Like was that your original intent? You wanted each song to be different?
Yeah,
Is
absolutely.
that your intent in general with your songs? Or do you have like certain songs, certain EPs that will be that you envisioned being in the same style?
I think particularly this EP, I wanted to be like a bunch of different things, especially as a debut, like to have a bunch of songs that are different because it like you're not going to get bored of the same sound. And also I kind of want to
Shows variety.
I just want to show variety on the first EP. But from this EP, I think I'll probably be sticking more to like one or two sounds, like focusing on one or two sounds throughout on the upcoming stuff, which, as you know, like it has like the next EP has a pretty solid like core sound to it.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
The next EP.
The next EP. The next thing.
What about the track list? What was your thought process behind the track list?
I think with the track list, like I don't know, when I first did it, I just did what felt right, and then I thought about it and I was like trying to like give meaning to it, and I realized like they're basically in order. Like they're mostly in order. I think they're like, you can say they're in order, if it depends on how you look at it, but
What does it mean in order?
In order is like Van Gogh is like, it feels to me like being a kid. It's like the first, it's basically like the birth of the project, as Van Gogh being the first single on it. You know, like we have the intro, but that's just like the intro is like welcome. And then we have like Van Gogh, which is like the birth. And then we have Die for Family, which is like kind of like getting away from a dark place. That Van Gogh's in a dark place. So Die for Family is like brightness after the dark place. It's kind of like a retribution a little bit. And then we have, right after that, we have Drugs, which is like from this bright place, something bad comes out of it, like something toxic and rough. And then from Drugs, we go to R.I.P, which is like, it goes downhill even more. And it's like, it goes into like this evil, dark territory. And then we end off with Even If You Don't, which is, I don't want to say too much about the song, but it's about someone that was introduced. Basically, like the last song is.
What about? Oh, never mind. You said Die for Family already.
Yeah. Like, Even If You Don't is like the first introduction to a subject, which I'm going to get more into in future projects. So it's nice to have it like as an ending, to be like, hey, like meet this person, who you're going to see again.
Mm-hmm.
So
like Even If You Don't is the intro to the next stuff. Basically.
Even If You Don't is
like
in some way, is in some way like a transitory, is that a word? Like a transition song like to the next projects, but also it just feels good as a closer. I always think like, I really like the idea that a closer should be really like, should hit really hard and be like really sad. And I don't know. I just feel like that's what a closer should be. Like, nice. I don't like closers that are like pop closers. I'd rather a closer that's like super intense and like look back on this project as you listen to the final song and you're like, whoa, you know.
Nice. That's cool. Okay. So should we go through them?
You ready? Any more questions?
I have some stuff saved for after we go through them.
Okay.
Unless there's anything else you want to say before we dive in.
No, let's dive in.
Okay.
Vincent.
So this is the intro. You produced this.
This is the intro, and I produced it. This is the first. Wait. Let me just rant.
Yeah,
this is the first thing I've ever produced that's going to be out that I produced. Although with your post production, like you kind of cleaned it up at the end,
right?
But
you did the production.
I did the production. Yeah, yeah, I did.
What was your favorite part about it?
Favorite part about this production? Okay, it's hard to choose. There's like two or three things. There's like four things. There's just silly parts about it, which I really like. It's very silly. It's just like it's a jumble of a bunch of things. Mm-hmm. But one hidden, can I like spill a hidden thing that's in it?
Yeah, we could show it.
Okay, cool. So one hidden thing that's in the stems is, there's kind of like a piano / vocal, which is, I kind of sing a main line from each song throughout this intro, which if you don't notice, like if you don't look for it, you won't notice. But if you look for it, you'll notice there's these like little melodies in the background that pull from each song on the EP, which is like a really cool way to like introduce it, because I'm kind of like giving you a taste of each song.
Yeah, that was really cool.
In this intro. So yeah. So that's one thing I really love about it.
Let's show it.
You want to show it?
Yeah. that's Van Gogh.
Could I be your Van Gogh? I will die for family.
Die for family.
Some people are drugs. I'm here and die in love. Even if you don't. So we have like each
Nice.
song, which it's so cool. I love that
Yeah,
that's
that
there.
is really cool.
Other things I love about it is the last. I don't want to play them. You could play them, but we
What?
have like in the middle. We have like me
Oh,
like ranting,
the rants.
which is like
We could leave those out.
it's these voice notes that I pulled from my phone of like arguments,
Right.
whatever. I don't think we should. I'm not going to mention it. I think people should just figure it out.
Okay. We won't.
like
We'll keep this in, but we won't play it. So
Yeah, we're not playing it, but like you can try to listen to it and figure out what it's saying. But it's just it's my voice. It's me. It's me, but it's me like a younger. It was me. Like one of the clips is me at like probably 14 or 15 or even 13, but I think 14. And then one of the clips is me like this year. So it's kind of like me arguing throughout time.
Nice. And then my favorite part is the end where when you say Vincent.
Yeah. And the ending, dude, the way that started was I woke up one morning like super sick and I was like, my voice is so cool right now. Like, what if I so I picked up my phone and I was like, Vincent. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Once you say it, you could hear that you're sick. Or that you
Wait, play it again.
It's great.
Vincent.
Damn. It's so intense. It's so cool.
Yeah. It's also a great ending. Like everything builds and then Vincent.
Yeah.
What was the hardest part about this production or this song?
Honestly, I don't think there was anything difficult about this. I think it came pretty easily. You like cleaned it up easily. There was nothing. I mean, you know what? Maybe I guess overcoming the boundary of feeling like I can't produce, feeling like since I'm not a producer, or in my mind I'm not a producer. I'm like, how could I do this? But this was me just sitting and being like, you know what? Screw it. Like I'll try, and if it's not good, it's not good. But I'll just have fun making it.
Right.
But this is, I think, the second or third like introduction I tried to make for the EP. Or like originally I tried to make like an outro, and then I ended up wanting that to be an intro. And actually I include one of the earlier intros I made in the end of this intro. The strings, the even if you don't strings at the end. Yeah. So this is like a orchestra. It's an orchestra I made, and for like potentially an outro for even if you don't, like post even if you don't. But yeah, it adds to the build up.
That's really cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Next one?
Yeah, let's go to the next one.
Cool.
Chaos was your lifestyle. I'd be on the cover of every Forbes magazine if dying was enough.
Okay, Van Gogh.
Van Gogh, baby.
What was your favorite part about this one? Actually, what was the hardest part about this one?
The hardest part about this one, I think two things. One was how long it took. Two was getting the strings where I liked them. Like I remember like trying to get the strings throughout the song to feel right was difficult and took a lot of time. It took like most of our time I think was dealing with strings. The main violin line and some of the violin lines were done by my dude Sky. We also ended up pitching a lot of them and adjusting the sound of them. So yeah,
There's a lot of violins.
There's a lot. I
didn't realize.
Turn them on. Also, there's like the violin vocals.
Right. Here, let's listen over here maybe. And let's listen to the last chorus. That was fun making these. It was also really hard, but
Yeah. It sounds beautiful though. Yeah. Also, I think, you know what another hard part was? I think like the idea of it in my head, like I was so set on like an orchestra. Like in my mind, I heard an orchestra.
Right.
So like the fact that we were limited to not do an orchestra and like we had to like use MIDI and like have a single violinist and like use my voice for a lot of it was hard to like get over and to be like, it's actually not, doesn't need to be like what I imagine it to be. Like it could be something else. And it still came out very beautiful. Like I'm very happy with it. Like I don't really have complaints about it. Like I know it could be like the last 10% of it could be if we had a real orchestra, but like it's very, very good. We did very well.
Yeah, agreed. Was there any part of this that you really enjoyed doing?
What I really enjoyed doing, I think the main vocal is basically like one take, as far as I remember. Like there's only one thing we replaced. It's because I like made a mistake, but I'm pretty sure the main vocal is one take. And I think that's enjoyable to get a main vocal done in one take and not have to comp it. But this is before we even like knew what comping was. I mean, before I knew what comping was and before like we even really comped
This is also
anything.
an FL Studio where it's really hard to comp.
This was also in FL Studio. Wow, we did this in FL Studio. We finished this in FL, right?
Yeah.
Whoa, I forgot about
Also
that. I forgot
drugs.
about FL. I know we started a lot of it in FL. I just forgot that we finished it in FL.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Oh, and also you know what else was the hardest part? We were doing this on your old laptop.
Oh, yeah, and it
on your
kept
and it was
freezing.
glitching like all my videos of us working on this have glitches like throughout the entire time. Like it just pauses, moves, skips. Like half of my camera roll was like literally just like funny glitches that happened.
Yeah. Oh God. At what point did you know that this was done? Because like it went on for a long time, and I remember you had very specific. Like I would be like, yeah, I think it's probably done, and you'd be like, no.
I'm trying to remember. It's
not
such a
done
long time
yet.
ago. I don't even remember. I don't remember like what point I knew. I think there's just like there's a point where I'm like, I don't notice anything wrong. I think that's usually how it goes. I'm like, I don't notice anything wrong with this. Like, nothing's catching my ear that I'm like, I don't like that. And when that moment hits, it's really nice. I'm like, okay, we can finally like get this over with. But
Nice.
yeah, also like the biggest, I think the turning point for this song was we didn't have any drums at all. Like
Right.
the whole time we never had drums. And then like months and months and months, maybe a year even, or even more than a year into producing it, we added the drums to that pre-chorus. And I was like, what the heck? This sounds so good. And I remember like, that was the most exciting, I think the most exciting moment of the production was when we got those drums in. And I was like, I have a clip on my phone, which is like favorited, which is us like getting those drums in. And we had some of the like background vocals, which were like sick. Yeah.
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 So 808.
There's also an 808.
I love that there's 808.
Under the orchestra that we made, there's an 808.
Oh, so these are probably one of my favorite.
Oh, I love these. These are
Yeah.
before each kick. Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet. Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I like this song
Anything
a lot.
else you want to say about it?
The bridge, I think the bridge is underrated. I think people should scream and cry over how good the bridge is. I think the bridge is such a good bridge, and also the way it's produced and the way it like it really feels like a bridge. I feel like the bridge is underrated. Like that's the one part that people I think don't like notice enough.
Which part, like vocally or just?
Everything, like vocally,
As a
it's
whole.
so nice. Like those like the, what are they called? Ad libs? I always forget what they're called. Yeah, those ad libs, like
These
born a fool. Yeah.
guys? Yeah.
Like that sounds so good with all the rest of the thing.
But he could never leave his cage and hold him.
Yeah.
I love that.
Cool.
Ready for the next?
Yeah.
On to the next song.
With your drown too. Come and drown with me. I'll sing with you till we hit the bottom. The waves can't silence.
Right. Die for family.
Yes. Yes, Die for Family.
What do you have to say about this one?
What do I have to say about this one? I have to say about this one that don't look at the title, listen to the song, because I think it could be a little misleading what it's about if you like don't know me. But what I have to say about this one is this is about my friends, like my chosen family, like the people I met in my time in Wilkes, which is like the school I went to when I was 16, 15, 16, 17, 18.
We both went to.
That we both went to, which is where we met actually.
Yeah.
And this is about like my friends there and like caring about them and also like being at a really bright place in my life where I was like happy and like I'm happy now, but I'm just like that was like one of the first times in my life where I was like seeing like that my life could be beautiful and enjoyable, and I met my best friends and like it was the best decision I ever made was going there. So this song is kind of like an ode to that. And also I don't know why, but when I wrote this, I was thinking like, I don't know, I was a little in my head about like fans, and I was like, people who listen to my music, like I kind of want this to be like a for them, like, hey, like this is kind of a for you guys,
like they're your family.
Like, yeah, like they're my like they are the ones who are supporting me, you know? So this is kind of like I die for them. Although, would I die for them? Yes.
Well, you would fake your death.
I would die
them.
for all of you. Each individual one. I'd fake my death for all of you guys.
What's your favorite part about this one?
My favorite part about this one, I have a couple favorite parts. Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
I really, really love that bridge. Yeah. What we did with that bridge, I think the song was great before the bridge was done. Like the bridge was fine.
Right.
And I remember being like, this bridge is okay. Like I was okay with getting away with it. But I was like, I remember we had that what if session where like, what if we messed around and did something different? And it was like one of the last sessions before we bounced it, like probably the second to last or last session.
Yeah.
And we did it we just did it fast, and it's so cool. Yeah. Like it's a highlight moment of the entire EP, like one of the highlights. So it's like,
for sure.
I'm so happy.
I feel like it made the song, because without it, the song felt like just another song on the EP. Mm-hmm. Like it didn't have anything super special about it. Mm-hmm. But then this gives it.
Yeah. Well, this turns it from being like a weird synth pop song to being like a weird hyper pop synth pop song.
Right.
Like it adds that like brand new genre element, which is really cool.
Should we play little elements of the bridge?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes, the best part of the bridge, which is hidden under everything, is the meow snare. The little ugly, beautiful little snare that I think is so funny.
There's all of these like hilarious little things.
There's a lot of hilarious stuff in there. There's so much in this production.
Where's the meow though?
It won't be under extras. It might be under drums. It might not be called meow. It's called like
cat snare.
Cat snare.
Here it is.
Like I don't know where we found that sound.
That one is great.
I love that sound.
Nice.
Yeah, but there's a lot of sounds in this bridge that are sick. Also, there's me and my friends like laughing. Right. There's a voice note of me like and one of my friends, Ariel. We were like chilling, and he was imitating me, and it was really funny. We were just like imitating each other, and I had this voice memo. I was like, let's try to fit this in, because this song's about my friends, so it's like it'd be cool to have something like from being with my friends in it. So it's just like me like laughing and being like, okay, breathe, because I was like, I literally couldn't breathe. We were laughing so hard. Yeah. And then at the end. Oh, I love that sound.
Okay, breathe.
Yeah.
And then we have that breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was so fun to make.
Yeah. Also, a moment I really like on the song is the second verse when the guitars come in. Like that's the first guitars we've ever had on a song. Like on a song that we were working on together. And I was just very happy with how it like fit in.
Yeah. Let's listen to this. It's funny, like solo, they don't sound that.
Oh, they sound
good.
It's a horrible like guitar take. I think we like. It's like a horrible loop, but
it's like a splice. No, you recorded it.
I think I recorded it, and then we spliced it together.
Yeah.
We spliced it together. But like
electric
in the
guitars
mix,
are cool. I think.
oh, I love these
Those are
guitars.
nice. Who did Yosef play those?
I think I did them.
You played them?
Or either me or you did it. I usually fight with you on playing guitars.
Yeah, because like with the drums, those work so nicely.
And the bass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's just such a vibe. It's so pretty and like enjoyable, and I feel like I'm like floating a bit.
Yeah, it is really nice.
I think live it'll translate really nicely.
Yeah. Also, like all these little elements. I don't know about that, but what was I looking for? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, sweet. What was the hardest part about this?
The hardest part about this, also probably how long it took, but I don't know if it was as like hard as it was like new and interesting, but I remember when we first started producing it, I wasn't really sure where I wanted it to go. And
Right.
I told you, I was like, Shlomo, like take the reins, like just have fun and like do something.
Right.
And like letting go of it and being like, I can trust you to like do something and like find your own way to like give it life was really cool. Cause like normally I'm like on top, making sure like everything goes in my, like how it sounds in my mind. You know, not always, but like there are many times where I'm like that. So being able to be like, do your thing and like letting you go ahead and like that chorus, that bass on the chorus, you should play that. That like crazy, like wacky, like Billy bass thing.
Yeah.
That was you just like on your iPad, like having fun.
Yeah, that
and
was
it
really
was
fun.
so cool.
Yeah, I love this bass. Yeah.
Very
I feel like
good.
you feel that in the song. Like it feels like it was fun.
It was fun.
You know what I mean? It feels like it was fun to make.
Yeah.
Like that's
People
what you
really
get
like
from
this
it.
one. Everyone I showed this to is very, I
Nice.
filmed a bunch of reactions from people. So
Yeah.
it's like, you see people really like it, especially the bridge. People are like, whoa.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. One more thing is the ending of it. This is actually a good point. The ending of it, I've always had a dream to like do a transition from one song to the next. And the ending of this, we'll see how it's like, we'll see how it sounds, but the ending of it is like a really beautiful, like changing the vibe and entering into the drug space.
Yeah.
Cause that's what this kind of led into. If you,
Right. This
in
goes
the
into
timeline.
drugs. So should we, let's maybe play that. Like the heartbeats start to come in.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
now we introduce some of the drugs elements, which is so cool. Also, it
And
speeds
the
up.
tempo slows down, yeah.
I mean, it slows down, yeah. Yeah.
So it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to sound.
Hopefully it works.
Hopefully it works. But it's out already, so we know that it works.
Right.
Some people are drugs. I can't get enough of you. Some people.
All right. Drugs.
Drugs.
What was your favorite part about this one?
My favorite part about creating this one, I think when we finally cracked the pre-chorus, like we had a million versions of that pre-chorus, and the verses too, but specifically the pre-chorus,
yeah.
we had so many versions, and we cracked it one day, and I was like, thank God it finally sounds good. And now I feel like it's the best sounding part of the song, probably.
Yeah.
That first pre-chorus is just a great pre-chorus. Like,
Cause there's a certain type of pain I fell in love with. And I put in my whole heart and always get back nothing. idea of something the way I do. No one becomes addicted to a friend like I'm addicted to you.
Nice.
Yeah, like it's so filling. All those background vocals fill so well. The
Yeah.
altar boy layers, like the whole scene is very like. I remember when we first did that, I was like, we can't lose how good it sounds on these speakers. Like you're just sitting in the room and you're like completely overwhelmed by how good it sounds. And I'm happy we didn't lose that in the mix. I remember there was one
Yanni
mix
did
where
a
I was
good
like,
job of mixing them.
yeah, Yanni did a great job on mixing that pre-chorus for sure.
Can we play? Let's just play the harmony.
First there was a certain type of pain I fell in love with. And I put in my whole heart and always kept back nothing. Cause no one falls in love with the idea of something.
Cool. You want to talk about the meaning of this? Because I feel like we included a lot of like storytelling elements in the production, like the heart rate.
Heart rate, the crying in the background.
Do you want to? Yeah.
Should we show off the crying? Do you know where it is? It's probably in extras. We probably called it, crying. It's in the beginning.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's not even showing up. There it is.
Oh, there you are.
A little speck.
Wish to be friends with you.
Yeah, you just hear it.
You can hear it.
But there's like rain, there's heart rate monitors.
Yeah. We definitely painted a picture with it.
Yeah.
Like you can feel where it is. Yeah. Also the ending where like the heart rate monitors go dun 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 dun
May
dun.
contain before you're
This.
I feel like it's like a perfect segue into R.I.P because like R.I.P is like undead
Yeah.
almost. So it's like whoever it is dies and then comes alive
Exactly.
as a vampire.
That's
or
like that's
whatever that
one of the
R.I.P is.
takes on the storyline is that like this toxic, like it's kind of like this person overdoses, this person being me, on like a toxic friendship, like dies at the end of it and then comes back as this like evil dark thing. A vampire
who's like toxic themselves. Basically.
who's toxic themselves. Yeah.
Nice. What a happy song.
What a happy song.
All right.
Yeah.
What was the hardest part about this?
What was the hardest part about this? I think we had a really awesome vocoder on that first pre-chorus, and then we didn't save the preset for it.
Whoops.
And then we spent 1,000 consecutive years trying to recreate it, that vocoder, because it was so good on the first half. And it was
sucked.
like, I'm sure no one notices that the vocoder on the second pre-chorus is a little different, but it is. I'm sure it's probably a tiny
Wait,
bit.
the second is different than the first? The first one had the
The first one has the original. We printed it. The first one has the original, the original like vocoder,
didn't
and the
even know
second
this.
one is a little different. Just a tiny bit different. It's hard to tell because with all the other elements.
That's fine.
But that was like that was so rough.
Is it labeled vocoder?
It's under pre. It's probably one of the.
Vocoder. Here we go.
So this is the first run.
So okay. And then the second one. Oh yeah.
See the difference? It was close.
Yeah, but this one sucks.
Yeah, we lost that preset. We'll never have it again.
What about this?
That was your idea. You were like, you just wanted that you to hit hard. I really like that. It's a great hit. Ooh.
Like you feel it. Yeah. What else? What insight do you have into this song? What do you want to share with people?
I don't want to go like too much into what it's about because I really don't want the person it's about to find out that it's about them. And I'm pretty sure till now they still don't know it's about them, which is very, very good because usually people like find out.
Okay.
But like it's just about like a friendship that you're like you're interested in a friendship with someone and you really care about them, but you bring out like bad parts of each other, like the bad traits within each other. And this was at the point where we had like stopped talking because of that. Like we just, whatever. Well, I kind of like cut them off sort of. And this was like, I wrote this in that like 6-month period of not talking to them and realizing like, even though I'm not talking to someone, I still really care about them. And I was just like reflecting on like how addictive and toxic it was to like be friends with someone that like you really care about, but isn't good for you. It's like, it's hard to like separate those feelings, you know? Yeah. But now we're all good. Now we're all good. Yeah. Thank God.
What lyrics connect with that most?
What lyrics connect with that idea most? Probably Some People Are Drugs. I can't get enough of you. Like Some People Are Drugs. Right. Or like You May Contain Drugs. Yeah. Oh, should we point out the last part? One other cool production element is I was in the park after I wrote this song. I was like in the park and I used my phone's GarageBand to like put together a bunch of harmonies, like with my phone, like literally with my phone. I think I sent it to you and you're like, we have to do this. And then we like got it to fit. Thank God we got it to fit. It was so hard to get that to fit.
I think it's this. Yeah. This is great.
I remember we also tried to recreate it to make it better and we couldn't. Yeah. Like the recreations weren't as good.
Didn't have the same texture. I don't know.
On to the next?
Yeah.
I'm gonna die in love, 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 I'm gonna die.
All right.
RIP. R.I.P. as I originally titled it, and then very quickly changed to calling it RIP because it's way easier to say RIP than R.I.P.
Right.
So we call it RIP now.
Nice. Why did you want it to be R.I.P. specifically?
So you like know it stands for rest in peace because there's the dots between. Because like a grave says R.I.P. on it. But the reason this song is actually titled RIP and not like, even though that's nowhere in the song,
right,
it doesn't say that anywhere in the song, is because very funny reason. At the point where I wrote this song, I had written, I don't know, like let's say 90 songs or so, 80, 90 songs. I think. I'm just guessing. But I didn't have any songs that started with the letter R or started with the letter like X. There was like a couple of songs I didn't have any song that started with that letter. And I was just annoyed that there was no song that started with the letter R because R is like a normal letter to have. So when I wrote this song, I was like, maybe this is the one where I can start it with the letter R and this will be my R song. So like in the ABCs, it'll like fit. Bit of OCD, but like.
That's funny.
But like that's the only reason.
But there's a theme connection between Rest in Peace and
because thematically it's about a vampire, you know, like someone who's dead. Also, I imagine like someone coming out of a grave, like a vampire zombie experience.
Right. It's kind of like the visualizer,
which is like the visualizer, which is in a graveyard.
Right.
This song feels like it's it feels like in a graveyard to me. That's like the scene of it. So. Right. Yeah, that's why it's called RIP.
What do you want people to take out of this song? Because it's kind of a dark song, you know? Is there something you want people to take out of?
I think it's just like a fun thing to like notice your toxic traits and be like, oh, these are things that like are wrong with me. Although with this song particularly, I wasn't necessarily, when I wrote it, I wasn't like actually thinking like, oh, this is so me. But I was kind of just like getting lost in the story of like what it would be like for a human being to fall in love with a vampire. Because I have my songs that are like about me, songs that are like about other people, and then I have songs that are like about stories. You know, like I have a song about Romeo and Juliet, which like I could connect that to myself, but it's not necessarily about myself. Although it connects to myself because it's from me. So with this song, like it was more of like experimentation of like, how can I write about a vampire? I remember I had these chords and I was playing them, and I had these beautiful, like the chorus chords, which is like such nice chords, and I didn't know what to do with it. And I was just sitting on it and playing. And then my friend was like, he's like, are you going to write something? And I was like, I want to write something. And he's like, what do you want? Basically, I don't know why that's the story. Basically, the long story short is I needed an idea, and he was like, what about like vampires? And I was like, that's sick. And I just was like, this is the move. And then I still didn't write anything on it. And I was walking home after like playing the piano, because I was at like this place that had a piano. I'm walking home and I promise you, I look up at the moon in the sky, and it was a full moon. And I was like, baby, if you hold tight, then I literally was like, I promise you, the melody and the main like chorus line just came straight to my head. And I remember I pulled out my phone, I recorded it. I was like, baby, if you hold tight, then maybe I'll forget. Like, immediately just from looking at the full moon. So there's a vampire within my existence. Nice. But yeah, like a thing to take from it is like toxic relationships can be really awesome because they feel great, but they're probably not great. Although they are great, but they're not great.
You're not great.
But they are. And that's what the vampire is trying to convince the human. Like if you give me some blood, I'll give you everything. Like I'll be your undying love.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
What was your favorite part about making this? You made this with Yosef.
This was produced with Yosef. Yosef David, the king. My favorite part of making this is the first thing me and Yosef ever made. I think like seeing, like working with Yosef was very cool. And to see like, as a musician, to see like the way he like floats around instruments and he just like knows what to do was very cool. Like to be like, oh, like he knows what it needs. Although like it wasn't always like that. Like it's definitely not always like that. But just to watch like a musician in his element produce is really cool to see. Like it's like a new way, you know. Right. I'd say you're more like a technical like king, and he's more like a musician king. Yeah. In what he's like strongest in.
Right. Also vocally, there's background vocals of him.
He also did some background vocals. He also has background vocals on Cool Kids, if you remember.
Right.
So yeah, Yosef doing background vocals for me is the coolest thing ever. It's very fun. It's a privilege to have his vocals.
Yeah, and so a lot of this is like played, right? Like meaning the bass Yosef actually played.
The bass Yosef played.
I believe.
The guitars Yosef played. Yeah, Yosef played that.
Did you come up with this bass line, or he did?
I came up with this bass line, I think, if I remember correctly. I think I did.
It's a pretty nice bass line.
Yeah, originally it was a different bass line, but and that's the
There's layers of bass. Yeah, I really loved the way the drums sounded. Like they sound like a real drum kit.
Oh, the drums are the coolest part of this, I think.
Yeah. Like they felt like real. I don't know. They didn't feel like programmed.
And these drums these are contact drums,
right,
which is so sick. Like to like, I remember we got these drums in the first session, I think, and it was like, whoa, like these drums sound perfect. Like I was very happy with them.
Nice.
We barely did anything after to the drums. Yeah.
Yeah, they sound great. What was the hardest part about this?
The hardest part about this, we were stuck on the bridge of it until like one of the latest sessions. The bridge, like everything from the bridge till the end of the song was like unknown, and the bridge used to be like really crazy piano chords, like do da do da, like just crazy piano chords, and then we like kind of like Die for Family, we like just tackled the bridge, and it's probably one of my favorite parts of the song now. Like that bridge is so sick. I love the elements of the bridge.
Let's listen to that.
No guarantee that you'll be safe. No guarantee you'll get away.
I still remember how to play that. Nice.
Yeah,
also heartbeats more.
Yeah, we love the heartbeats. We love the heartbeats in this universe.
Right, but there's also a lot of thematic elements. Like there's the bats, right?
Yeah, we have bats, we have screaming. That intro is crazy.
That's sick.
Yeah. This is this will always have a special place in my heart, this song, because it's so fun and it's also like sonically so different from anything like I've ever made.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it definitely has a theme,
yeah. And I want to I'm not going to say too much about it, but like I have a lot of ideas for this like sonic space and like what I want to do with it and like how to implement it more.
Nice.
Yeah.
Should we play some of Yosef's harmonies? You think?
Yeah, play some of Yosef's harmonies. For sure.
I think these, let's see.
Yeah. He also did those ums below, by the way. The ones
Nice.
That's Yosef. Yosef always did the high things that I have a hard time doing. I'm just like, Yosef, please just do it. He's so good at it.
At what point did this feel done? Like, when did you know, okay, we're good?
I think when it was done was when it felt done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we finished it. Like, there was a point where Yosef was like sick of it because we spent so much time on it. Yosef was like, I'm done. Like, we can't touch this anymore. And then I think I brought it to you and do you remember? I think I brought it to you and we just like
we did like one thing.
We did like one or two things. I don't remember what we did. Do you remember what we did?
I think like it was a build up, like a scream build up thing.
Oh, we added a mwahaha to the second verse.
Is that what it was?
And then we added the scream at the end of the bridge, which like me and Yosef had it, but like it wasn't solid yet.
But
so
wasn't there like some rising?
Yeah, the scream at the end of the bridge.
That's what it was.
It's like this like, where is it?
The evil.
It's like
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of sick.
I love that. So can you play it again?
Oh, it's both of them together, really, right?
Yeah. Oh man, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Say.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I like this song a lot.
Next.
On to the next.
I'm sorry I spoke up and called it love. I'm sorry that you don't know me. You didn't know me the way I.
All right. Okay. Even if you don't.
Even if you don't.
EIYD.
EIYD, as it was referred to, or as Shlomo likes to call it, redacted, because I can't say what Shlomo used to call it, because he would call it by the title of a different song of mine, which is, if I'm being honest, he would just call it that, even though that's not the title of this song.
Yeah. It also is 4 words.
It also is 4 words.
What was your, what would you like to say about this song?
What do I want to say about this song? I think it's very obvious what the song is about if you listen to it. It's weird that this is like the introduction. Basically, this song is an introduction to a character, which is like a character that was or is or whatever you call it, part of this universe and part of my life, my personal life. And this is like an introduction to her, and it's the first time we really get to see like kind of like this is. I don't know. This is just the introduction to her, capital H-E-R. You get a glimpse of her. And I think it's interesting that that to introduce her, we start with an apology, which is just weird because this whole song is kind of me like saying sorry, like for, I'm sorry I spoke too soon. And it's me like confessing, like talking to her and saying like even it like, I think I'm the one for you, even if you don't. So it's like an unrequited love song, and it's like just a cool way to introduce her. Instead of like from a bright place, it's from like actually a dark, like sad place to like be introduced to her, like from an apology, I guess, which is kind of crazy.
It's like after, what is this? Like after a breakup? Like after?
We never dated. So there was no breakup, but this is at some point in the experience of realizing like someone doesn't want me the way I want them, and I'm like, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about it. I feel like the song says what it's about, and also the future music that we'll discuss, like
Is about
the topic of her, will be very in depth and very clear, and there will be a lot of hints. And I feel like if you want to know the story, you can just look at the music and you'll figure it out. And if you can't figure it out, then keep looking.
Got it. This is the prologue.
This is what's a prologue? Like the intro?
Like in the beginning of a book, there's like a little intro.
Yeah, this is
gives
the
you a
prologue.
taste.
This is the prologue, the prequel,
Nice.
the prologue.
What was the hardest part about this one?
The hardest part about this song was probably the mixing mastering process. This was the longest mixing mastering process of any song. This was 5 months, I think, in total. And it was just really, really difficult because this was the last song that was done after all the songs were done. And just the fact that things took so long was just very like hard on me. And it got my mental health like effed up. I was like, oh my goodness, like it's never going to end. And then it just didn't end. And then it didn't end again. And then it didn't end again. So
and it finally ended.
Yeah. So that mix master process was really rough.
I think we have how many mixes?
10.
No,
We have
10 masters. But how many mixes?
Oh, mixes? I don't even,
5 mixes, maybe?
I think 7 total.
7 mixes.
6, and then it turned to 7 maybe after we noticed.
That's right. 7 mixes and then 10 masters.
7 mixes and 10 masters. It like.
Do you want to say why it took so long?
Do I want to say why it took so long? Like,
Well, I mean, it was mainly because there was white noise.
oh, basically we just
don't have to get into all of this.
We don't need to get into it. There were just issues with the song that needed to be dealt with, or issues with how the song was being dealt with that needed to be dealt with.
Right.
Yeah, we don't need to get into it.
Yeah.
But it was just annoying.
What's your favorite part about this one?
My favorite part of the song. So there's an element that's my favorite element, and then there's a like section. In terms of the element, right before the final like crazy big chorus, like during the breakdown, there's this like slowly rising alter boyd vocal where I'm like hinting at what I'm gonna say. It's like these little ghosts. It's hard to explain. It's like these little ghosts of my voice, like just like slowly like showing up. Can you find it? It's right at the end of the breakdown before the.
Maybe this? Oh, here, ghost voices.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know about this.
It's hard to hear them when you don't notice them, but I hear them every time. Like, I love them.
Nice.
Like-
We also didn't say that Yosef produced this one also.
This was produced by Yosef David, the master, with post-production from Shlomo. And yeah, like this song had a lot of iterations. I think also like, I think all the songs kind of had a bunch of iterations. But this one, like, we didn't know how it was going to, like, I thought it was going to be a ballad only. And I don't know, there was a lot of routes it could have gone. But this was kind of the most experimental of the bunch. And I'm very happy with it. Like how it turned out. 'Cause it's just like, it's kind of singular in how it feels and sounds. Which is kind of cool.
Right.
Also, I vocally engineered this song.
About to say that.
I am the vocal engineer of this song. This was the first time I sat and did all the harmonies myself. I sat and recorded harmonies. I sat and recorded vocals. I did I did so much work. It was so hard.
You did it twice because the first time the mic that wasn't on this song.
No, that was a different song, which we're not going to discuss. But yeah, but yeah, like I'm the vocal engineer. Yosef produced it. Shlomo did post production. Like this was like a big team effort, and I'm very happy with the final vocals, like how they turned out. Like that, it's a great comp. The harmonies sound great. Like everything, just like it's where it should be.
Sounds
and then
great.
In terms of my favorite part, I think that ending, like that unexpected, like
The
final
crazy,
chorus.
glitchy.
Yeah.
Even if you do.
love this. Yeah, that was also a later edition. Like, I just popped into my head.
Right.
Also, that's one of the first times ever. This might be the first time ever that after a song was done writing, like after I'd finished writing the entire song, and like, what am I? I don't speak English anymore. Like, this is one of the first times that. Okay, that's aggressive. This is one of the first times that during the production of a song, I added. Like, I wrote something else in it. There's only one other time that's happened, and Shlomo was involved in that writing, and Shlomo has a writing credit for the first time on the lyrics of the song
in my life.
because of
For
that.
one word.
for one word on this thing we
And
added.
I get 90% royalties.
We'll discuss this after. We'll discuss this after the video. But yeah. Like, it's cool to like write something after, and like it refreshes the song. I was like, oh, like,
Right.
there's something new in it that I didn't even know existed when I wrote it. And like 2 years later, I'm like, oh, this is a part of the song now. It's like totally a part of the song now.
Nice.
Which is awesome.
That's actually funny because the other song is the same exact idea.
Same exact subject.
Meaning it's also outro ad libs.
It's also yeah. It's also outro ad libs. Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
which
Also,
is
it's on the
interesting.
same subject,
Right.
which is also interesting.
You're still processing.
I'm still processing after 4 freaking years.
All right. Anything else? Hardest? Did we talk about hardest part? We did. When did you know
Yeah.
this was done?
I hate that question. When did we know this was done?
Yeah.
We didn't. Well, we thought it was done like 10 times, and then it wasn't done. And then there was more to do, and then there was more to do, and then there was more to do. And then we're like, okay, it's actually done. Then there was more, and then there was still more. So I knew it was done the moment I uploaded it, because until we uploaded it, I was like, I have no idea if this is okay yet.
All right. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Anything else?
I'll take it. I think that's it.
That's even if you don't. That's
even if you
that's
don't.
the closer song. And also the ending being this like glitchy like TV static sound effect, which
right.
incorporates some of like the TV elements which we have in some of the visualizers, and like one of like the forms of media.
Right. What's the idea of that? Because it's like this nice, really nice chorus, and then it's just like
Well,
goodbye.
it's kind of like
It's like putting a sour note on this like beautiful.
I think it's a harsh. It's just a harsh, intense ending where you're just like shocked, like you're kind of left like, oh my goodness, like what was that? And I feel like I kind of want to leave the listener ending the project like, what, like where are we? What's going on? And then also it hints to like a future, because it ends, with this like whatever, the TVs and the static means something. So the fact that like we're having ending with the static means that there's something else.
Something else bigger at play.
There's something else bigger at play. Absolutely. And there's more where that came from. And there's like, yeah.
Nice. Okay. I figured for an outro, we can do word association.
Okay.
You know what that is, right?
You say a word and I just
say
yell a
the
word back.
And you say the first, you have to say the first thing.
Like sentence or word?
Whatever. Word, sentence. You ready?
Okay, you look too excited about
I'm a
this.
little excited. Vincent.
Project. What did you think I was going to say?
I don't know. Yosef David.
King.
Parents.
First word that came to mind was hate.
Spotify.
I thought of death. I just thought of death. I'm still probably on the hate route. So
So you want Spotify to die.
no, I don't want Spotify to die. Thank you, Spotify, for giving me very little money for all my streams, and I appreciate you.
FL Studio.
Glitchy. Glitchy, problems, issues.
Record labels.
Money.
Money.
That's what I thought of.
Shlomo Wolf. I didn't even write that one down.
You didn't write it down? Shlomo Wolf, I thought there's kind of like, there's not even a word. There's just this void in my head. There's like a black hole, and all ideas have left my head. But say it again.
Shlomo Wolf.
Soap.
Soap. Nice.
Soap.
I like that one. Okay, what can people expect next?
People can expect what can they expect next? A new day comes after you go to sleep and you wake up. They can expect that.
What can they expect next from you?
Oh, from me, they can expect more music. There's more coming and faster. And I don't want to say the word better, but better. And there's
Faster, like 2 years instead of 5, or
faster, like I'm not giving dates instead of I'm going to give dates that are wrong. But yeah,
but faster.
but definitely faster, and definitely
You have already a nice amount of songs almost
there's
done.
there's a lineup of things ready after this, and if not ready, almost ready. And
And we're going to a mixing session.
and we have a
for one of
mixing
them.
session right after
in
this,
5
which we
minutes.
are late to.
Can we play a snippet of the song that we're getting mixed? Not currently, but not right this minute, but at the end of this thing. Like 5
snippet?
seconds of it.
That's fine. We could do 5 seconds of it. Do you
right.
have it? Do you want me to airdrop it
Not
to
right
you?
here. I'll edit it in.
Okay, we can play a 5-second snippet of it.
All right.
Sure.
5-second snippet.
Don't you know October almost ended me?
Okay.
Okay, done.
Okay. Shake my hand. My hand's all sweaty. Good doing business with you.
Pleasure. All right, let's go.
What's the outro though?
What do you mean the outro? That was the outro.
No, I'm saying like, how do we end this video? I feel like I should be like, please subscribe to my channel immediately. If you're seeing this, you must subscribe to my channel. There's a video right here in this corner where you can click on to see like this EP and the stuff from this EP. And then we have a profile picture right down there where you can click to subscribe. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, please like, please comment, and provide me with the money to pursue my dreams. Thank you everyone for being here. Kisses.